Hey. So, obviously, a lot of you are like, why is she posting video again? This is actually, I don't know if it's, we're about to say, if you're not interested in that topic, go ahead and skip. If you are, keep it, or if you're like, what does she have to say about this, keep it. Anyways, over the weekend, my relatives came over, and, I'm like, yeah, I went to master's program. They're like, oh, that's great. Then, my mom was saying how she might go to her cousin's daughter's wedding. I'm going with her. And my mom said, yeah, Trisha could find a groom there. For those of you who don't know, I'm 21. Which is not an age to get married, in my opinion. It is possible that I might find a guy there, but I highly doubt it. I might, he might also be in California. He might. Anyways, my parents don't know about my life, and they don't know if I already do or do not have a boyfriend. And I don't want to tell them if I do or if I don't. Do I have one? Does anybody, people who watch this, do I have one? I'm not going to tell you. Absolutely not. If I do have one, the person who might be him will call me back. If I don't have one, then I don't have one. So I'm not going to tell you if I do or if I don't. And the people in Canada who are watching this obviously know the answer to that. Anyways, I'm going to talk about wedding and stuff, and I think a good age to get married would be maybe when you're like 25, maybe older. I mean, my uncle said, Trish, if you get married at 22, I'm not coming to your wedding. And in Indian culture, the uncle kind of has to be there because there's this thing called the chura ceremony, and they have to tie churas on your bangles. They're like bangles, for those of you who don't know, like metal bracelets of different colors, and they tie like this little thread thing where bells are hanging from it, kind of like that. The uncle has to do that, or somebody like the uncle if your uncle has passed away or something like that. So he's like, I'm not coming to. I'm like, okay, but they're okay with me marrying somebody a little bit older, because frankly, girls are mature faster than boys. I mean, my mom's aunt married somebody more than 10 years older, and they have 2 kids together and are happily married. So it's okay with marrying somebody who's older, even somebody who's a little bit younger. I mean, my dad, so I have a second cousin. I'm not even going to get into that. My mom has some crazy ideas. Like, before she knew he was my second cousin, she's like, he's such a nice boy. I'm like, he's my second cousin. Then, I had a third cousin, and actually my aunt and mom were like, you guys aren't even related. No, okay? That's still, we're related, we're good friends, but nothing like that. Basically, I think my mom's second cousin. So her son? No. Okay. Number 1, no. Number 2, it might have happened in the olden days, but no. And number 3, like, honestly, Punjabi, he has to be Punjabi, and you people don't remember, you don't know. My mom wants a simple temple wedding. What do I want? I want a wedding, if she's gonna do, like, a religious wedding in some religious area, like a church or a temple, something like that, I would rather be in the Gurdwara. Why? Why, you ask? I'm not trying to demean anybody's culture here. I'm not trying to promote my faith. But if it's gonna happen in California, the Gurdwara is much nicer. Well, it's not much nicer. It's, again, I'm not trying to mean any, religious area you go to, but it's really nice, and it shines when you walk in. Let me put it that way. When you walk in with your head covered, it shines. Everything is marble, yeah. And there's it feels like you're walking on a red carpet as you walk in, because when you walk in, you walk all the way down, pay your services, you get blessed. It's really nice. That's why I want the Gurdwara. So, obviously, I'll probably get married in 8 years or something, because I have to do my master's, which I am starting soon in May 7th. And I'll take at least 1.5 years for psychology. And then I do my doctorate in counseling psychology. I know what my thesis is. Don't steal it. I'm just kidding. I guess your thesis can be, my dad said something that's never been done before, but I don't know if that's still true. My uncle said it can be done before. I've already thought about it. I don't know if anybody else has done that before. I was actually looking at interpreting dreams for my thesis, but I realized that, okay, who am I going to talk to? What type of field work am I going to do for that? So I thought of something better. And hopefully, I think I'm going to call during that time and ask the lady in charge if I can interview one of her people. Obviously, people are like, who's she talking about? Or not even my brother, who's she talking about? And people are like, huh? Oh. So yeah, so marriage for me is still a long ways to go. And I'm not worried about it. You guys shouldn't be worried about marriage. I mean, there are people who are still unmarried. Enough of my rant. There are people who are married who also have children. There are people who are married who are expecting. There are people who are not married and already have children. It's happened before. Children will obviously happen after I'm married, not before. I mean, seriously. Yep. So yeah, brides and grooms, if I don't, as much as I promote saying I want to marry a Punjabi, I'm just gonna say that is my preference. Frankly, my preference is Punjabi, who knows Punjabi, who wears a kara. Ears pierced are optional, but if his ear pierced, that's fine. A Sikh is also optional. A Sikh, the only reason is because if I get married, I'd rather get married in the Gurdwara instead of a temple. But that's just my preference. Preferably, I don't think there may or may not. Again, I'm speaking if I do or don't have a boyfriend. There may be if that is your preference, there may be somebody who does. There may be somebody like that in the world, and there might not be. But it really matters on their personality. If I meet a South Indian guy who has a great personality, sure, he doesn't wear kara, sure, he doesn't know Punjabi, even if he doesn't know Hindi, I'd be okay with that. If I meet a Bengali who wears the gold one, but who doesn't know Punjabi, only knows Bengali and Hindi, and, his personality goes, that's fine. But let me give you a scenario. If you met a South Indian and a Punjabi, one worker, one didn't know a word of Hindi, the other knew Punjabi, Hindi, and English. But the South Indian was so caring, so nice, spoke to you on Skype every night, who had such a great personality, who was never mean to anyone, who was always there for you, who you always talked to, who you always shared every single thing with, then I think it's clearly obvious who you would choose. So the main point I'm trying to make here is don't be too picky. Now, if you're like my parents, they have very, very high standards. So think about that. Anyways, to conclude, don't rush to get married. Don't be too picky. If you are too picky and you're young, sure, I'll let it go. But if you're at that age and you know what age that is and you're too picky, simmer down. Simmer down. Of course, you know, if you're still with your parents, you have to meet their expectations too. But, like I said, that type of personality is a guy. And if you really like that person, which will happen over time, telling you the truth, your bond will be stronger than ever. And you wouldn't want to let that person go. That person may leave and not tell you where he or she is going, but he may come back. Some people may say he'll come back, he'll call you. You know, give it a month. If it's more than a month, valid reason, take him or her back. If it's not a valid reason, then think about it. Do you really love that person? If you really love that person, you will take that person back. Anyways, yeah, you probably are like, wow, that has never happened. Then again, what type of person are you? Understanding. Of course. Now I'm just rambling. Anyways, I hope all of you are having a spectacular day. I know a lot of you are graduating or have already graduated. I know prom for some of you is coming up. We're heading into summer. Yes, summer 2015. I'll be starting my master's and hopefully getting another job. I already have 4 jobs. To list it: working in a restaurant, tutoring, being an assistant for my friend's business, and a student mentor. So if you have any questions, let me know. This is Trisha.